Alhaji Garba Shehu is a senior special assistant to President Muhammadu Buhari, is a spokesman of the current government. Alhaji Garba, is President Muhammadu Buhari running for second term? And if yes, does he deserve second term mandates by Nigerians?
Well, these are two separate issues. Will he run? I'm not in a position to answer this question at this time. The president will be making this decision by himself. He will decide if he will run at the right time. So that answers the first part of the question. The second part is, does he deserve it or has he justified? He deserves, he more than deserves a second term on account of the fact that the president has started something of a revolution in this country, because it will take a revolution to transform this country from a nation of that did not even condemn corruption at the rhetorical level, that had embraced corruption top to bottom. That's what the president is trying to change, to rid this country of corruption. This is a president who is...
Many Nigerians would beg to differ that account of President Buhari's corruption stance.
They are entitled to their views.
There are case studies where a lot hasn't been seen. Let's talk about the issue of the former Secretary General of the SGF, Secretary General of the Federation.
Secretary to the government of the Federation.
And the grass cutting scandal. Nothing has been done so far.
No, please, don't say that. The first place, let me say, there's a lesson there. This was the third most senior government official in the executive arm of the government. From the moment this broke, the president put him on suspension. You must agree that it's a disciplinary measure, because he was not on his seat throughout that period. And eventually, the president came, terminated his appointment. That is a disciplinary measure. And as we speak now, the matter is of interest to all of the security agents. It's for them to decide whether there is any prosecutable offense that he has committed. If they determine that, the president will not stop them.
There are a lot of people with cases in corruption cases from the EFCC to ICPC in this government, that the president has turned a blind eye. Many Nigerians think this is just a war on the opposition. I mean, I interviewed Father Kuka a few days ago, and he was also of the opinion that a lot of people even in the APC that have criminal cases and they've been...
They have criminal cases or they are suspicions of
corruption around.
So do we, if you are going to arrest and put behind the bars every citizen of Nigeria against whom there is a lingering petition or allegation, you probably have no one out there on the streets walking as a free man. If you hold an office in this country for a day, within 24 hours, somebody is going to write a petition against you and say you have done wrong things. So the thing then is that we have a due process of the law. We have investigation agencies, ICPC, EFCC, police, Ministry of Justice, and all of these things. Allow them to do their work. Instead of people saying that the president should... In fact, the president has no power to stop investigation under our own constitution. He has no power.
You did talk about President Muhammadu Buhari's 32-inch television. How relevant was that on national discourse?
It is to show that this is a man with a lifestyle that is so simple, so ordinary, so basic. This is a country in which the children of some influential men go to the universities. They are children of former government officials in this country who had TVs, wall-to-wall television. Wall-to-wall.
How?
This is a president, so there is a sense in being austere. There is a sense in being prudent. This is a president who is not motivated, quite unlike many people. He doesn't desire more homes. He doesn't need them. He doesn't need cars. He doesn't own aircraft. This is a president who doesn't have foreign bank accounts. So the thing is that he's just like an ordinary guy on the street. And I think there's a message there.
You didn't make mention of influential Nigerians whose children have a television set. But you're also ignoring the fact that President Buhari's kids are also schooled abroad. As well as children of the influential and elites. What makes him different from every other person?
So what stops President Muhammad Buhari's children from schooling abroad as the children of other people do? So the point is, these children had been going to school before he came to the office. And because their father had become president, you can disrupt their education. Well, that would not be fair.
You had a spat with Sule Lamido a few days ago about his presidential bid, and he questioned your work ethics as well as a presidential spokesman.
Who is he to question?
Do you think he's qualified to be president of Nigeria?
Does he have WAEC certificate? I have 2 degrees. I've taught graduate school. I've taught journalism in graduate. Some of my students are PhDs, professors. So who is he to question? The simple question put to him is, that's even in politics there is morality. You can't be governor, you take money from government coffers and you put in your children's account. And then you come and tell us you want to be president, you're going to undergo trial, you don't have humility, you can't lower your head. That's disrespectful of Nigerians. This is a country governed by law. So I'm not bothered by, the important thing is the person who employs me. Does he like my work? Does he have confidence in me? Is he prepared to keep me in the job? That is what matters most.
That takes me to the next question. I know you are in a tight condition right now.
In what respect?
Okay. Your current boss and your former boss are likely to meet themselves in 2019. Where does your loyalty lie?
When the time comes, you ask the question.
Okay. I also want to digress a little. Your term as the presidential spokesman, and I noticed that a few weeks ago there was a book launched by the media team of the president.
That is correct.
Have you, all of you, with you, I think Femi Adesina, do you think you've been outstanding in your duties so far as presidential spokesman?
It's not for us to say. It's not for us to say.
What was the book about?
The book is a report card of the 2 years of the Buhari administration. A documentation of things that have been achieved.
In
this country, this is a country in which somebody will just come from nowhere and say, this government has done nothing.
Can you name 3 things that has been done by this government? 3 major things, landmark things. Let's keep corruption aside.
Let me tell you, before, if Buhari hadn't been here, Boko Haram would have been in Asorok by now. They would have taken over Abuja. You would not have been here talking to me. Because they were everywhere. Boko Haram had reached Ibadan, had reached Lagos. People look at this and then they say nothing has been achieved. Peace? Can you build anything without peace in this country? Can you build peace? Can you achieve development anywhere in the world without peace? You say you want agriculture. This is a country that spent $5 million US every day importing rice. We're not doing that anymore. What more do you want us to say? We have created nearly 500,000 jobs, graduates. Take it, Empower and all of these schemes. So, if we were to sit down and say we are going to itemize things that we have achieved in this last year, I want to say that the president identified key issues and he was right then. He continues, even now he is right. This country has a problem of security, we're going to solve it, of corruption, we're going to tackle that and to restructure the economy because this oil had brought a lot of trouble in addition to the fortune that it has given us. We need to restructure and move away from over-reliance on oil.
You said President Muhammadu Buhari was joking when he said his wife belongs to the other world. But Nigerians have also questioned his decisions in cabinet selection for women. I mean, this administration, they have only 11% against the 35% that women have been advocating and agitating for. And even the promise made by the president when he was campaigning in office.
He has said that he is going to improve on that record. So give him time. He said it will get better.
How long time do we have?
I don't know.
When are we expecting the next cabinet reshuffle?
I don't know. The president will decide that. But the president has said that he will do more for women.
Has President Buhari apologized to his wife for saying she belongs to the other room?
Can't people take jokes? No, we are too serious as a people. There is humor in politics. There is humor. Angela Merkel was there, she laughed over it. And she didn't say anything. She showed that when they spoke with the president, she showed understanding. She understood that this was a joke. But we have humorless people here in this country. People who are too stiff. And when they see jokes, they think that they are matters of serious. But this is why they make politics difficult in this country. But President Buhari is a man who he thrives in humor. And he uses humor to break tensions wherever he is. And at 70, 73 years, he can't change at this time. So people should better accept that they have a president who just likes being himself, who has a way of easing tension wherever he is. Before he starts a meeting, he cracks one joke, sometimes on himself, self-deprecating humor. And then it gets everyone going. That's how it works. UK politics, US politics, particularly UK. UK is the home of humor in politics, and people enjoy it. And then Nigeria should begin to be less serious about these things.
There's been a national, for someone who is also a native of social media, if I don't raise this up, I'll not be representing that constituency very well. There's been a national outcry about NSAS. I don't know if you've seen the tweets and the hashtags all over the place. And a lot of Nigerians are wondering why the presidency hasn't issued any statement whatsoever about NSAS.
Yeah.
What do you say? What's your reaction to that advocacy?
Did you realize that the Inspector General of Police has been speaking on the matter? The Inspector General of Police is an agent of the president. He's an appointee of the president. So if the government has many arms through outlets, through platforms through which government can speak. So if a minister of the government speaks, he's speaking on behalf of the government of Nigeria. So the Attorney General, the Inspector General of Police, in my own view, has responded appropriately to those issues that are raised. He continues to respond as the issues arise. And since the president has not queried him for saying what he has said, it then means that he's satisfied with the handling of the issue.
I'll take you back to the former thing, for the former question you tried to dodge. I'll take you back to that question. During President Buhari's last trip to Kano, he also hinted about 4+4, and in Cote d'Ivoire, he hinted about running again. I want to understand the nexus around 4+4 and what you say about his second term mandate.
We went around the city, and wherever we went, they were raising 4 fingers on both arms. And the president said, yes, without anyone having to explain to me, I understand that they meant 4+4, meaning 8 years. That's it. So the president, even when it came to the point where the APC establishment in Kano, endorsed him for second term, he neither said, I accept, neither did he say, I do not accept. Which means that it is a pending issue. When the right time comes, he will be making a decision on the matter.
Is the presidency jittery about the resurgence of the PDP?
Do you know, I believe that some of our ministers will be addressing the issue, and the APC has been competently, responding on these matters. Nobody needs to be jittery about this return of, or so-called return of the PDP. Because if they are doing the right things, if they were aiming to regain the moral high ground, they probably would have interested our political strategists. But it is too soon. They assume that Nigerians have forgotten so soon. You know what President Buhari did? He has reinstated honor. He has reinstated integrity in the affairs of this country. And I assure you that going forward, this country will not go below that threshold. No. When you are coming to displace Buhari, you got to have higher moral credential, not lower. I think these are the issues they should be addressing.
Why was the presidency in such a hurry to designate IPOB as a terrorist organization?
Nobody was in a hurry to designate IPOB as nobody was rushing anything. There was a due process that was followed. Don't forget that before the Attorney General went to court to ask for that, there were resolutions coming from the political establishment, from the leadership, from the governors of the Southeast. So it was simply on cue, and certainly nobody was rushing anything.
Malam Garba Shehu, thank you so much for your time.